Hey Emma, this is Mr. Caslin. Want to quickly go over with you these trig identities you were looking at. You're correct that these are a little bit harder, but really you're just looking for other identities you learned about. Like here I'm noticing a double angle here. I'm noticing a sum and difference formula here. I'm noticing a half angle formula here. So we had to go over things quickly. So we did see some problems similar to this. For example, here's an identity, 1 plus the sine of a double angle, and we're trying to prove that it's equal to the right hand side. Now in these types of problems, what you want to look for is changing the double angle into its equivalent. For example, the sine of 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cosine theta. Okay, so you want to use different identities such as double angles, half angles, sum and difference formulas to see if you can get to prove your identity or get the left hand side to match the right hand side. So for this one, we replace the sine of 2 theta with 2 sine theta cosine theta. We ended up with a binomial squared which matched the right hand side. This was back unit 9, day 7. You're right that we didn't do a lot of these, but there were a few like that. All right, so let's go back and look at this piece here. I'll just get you kick started on these. So you have, what you want to look for here is, since this is a double angle, look to see if you have a double angle formula for cotangent, or more likely what you're going to find is a double angle formula for tangent. Okay, so if you look through your identities, we're going to replace the tangent of 2 theta with its equivalent formula and work it through, and hopefully you can get it to match this right hand side. Over here you have a sum and difference formula. So you want to basically change the sine of a minus b into its equivalent. And you want to work through that and simplify things, and hopefully you can get it to match this right hand side. Over here I'm noticing on number 18, I'm noticing you have a half angle. So you want to look up here, you want to replace this with a half angle formula. Remember the half angle formulas? They were a plus and minus, a square root, a fraction. Well, that's what's going on here is you're going to square it. The square here is to get rid of the square root. This one actually I thought was the most difficult. Even when you replace it with the half angle formula, it's hard to get it to match this. What you can do is work a little bit backwards to see if you can get it to match it working forward, and give you some more insight. Anyway, you're supposed to do 3 out of 4. I tried all 4, but I thought this one was the most difficult of the 3. And then over here, we're actually not using any special identities. One of the I don't want to say procedures, one of the things we said to look for when you're doing an identity is, especially when you get a 1 minus something or 1 plus something, use a conjugate. All right, you have 1 minus cosine of x. See what happens when you multiply the top and the bottom, the numerator and denominator, by its conjugate. See if you can get it to match the top. Okay, so these aren't too difficult if you realize you're using double angle, half angle, and some different formulas to finish these. All right, good luck with those. Hope those go well for you. Sorry, I don't write very well I'm writing with a mouse, and I still have not perfected that very well.